So we have one for Averip. He's wondering what's next. So we're just going to go through his account, making sure what he can easily increase, and we can go forward with that. So, of course, let's check out. Taking a look here. 461, 359, 499, 461, 318, 386, 443, 349, 423, and 419. So overall, he's looking pretty good in that regards. He has Zerg Reshigen. That's fantastic to see. His cards are overall looking pretty good. They're either 4-star or 5-star, so you'll love to see it. How's equipment looking? Right off the get-go, instantly, without even taking a look, tools. Void tools. Void tools minimum. As same as before. People are sleeping on tools. We got to make sure that people do not sleep on tools. So that's definitely something to work towards 100%. You got pretty much full magma armor. That's looking pretty good. You'll love to see that. His golden food, his pots are looking all right. He could be farming out a little bit more golden cheese, but I mean, it seems like he's got a ton here for his sailing AFK gains. Now, what I would suggest is take the time and you want to spread out your golden hamsters. Okay? So you can increase your procs to push more artifacts. That's going to be the most important thing. And running the sailing bubble. This is going to help you greatly for collecting all your artifacts. You may think, oh, having 28k is good on having a 66.8% chance. You're not wrong. But I mean, if you had all your characters rocking at like 2,000 hamsters apiece, that means each of them have a % chance to proc sailing rather than one person to have a higher proc chance. Because you got to think about this. If your Gamba's really good for that day, you're going to end up getting, 10 hours, you log in every 10 hours, you're going to have like 10 hours procking for sailing for each character. And that's really massive over one character basically guaranteeing a proc. You know what I mean? So overall, I would suggest to spread out your hamsters properly. So that's the first thing that I want you to do. It'll just overall be better. You have 7,800 on stamps. That's looking pretty good. Multi-tool stamps looking nice. Overall, looking pretty juicy. I mean, you want to sneak out some free stuff. Maybe put a couple into your ball stamp timer. Super easy to get. It's only oak logs. Definitely not an issue whatsoever. You got a couple of stamps here that you could also upgrade as well. Definitely doesn't hurt at all. You got some stuff because, even if you're leveling up your stamps and you're getting diminishing returns, you're still getting increases, even though you're getting less than normal. It will still ultimately give you more in the long run, so it doesn't hurt to over-level your skilling stamps. So, if you want, I would suggest maybe take a little bit of time and level up some of your skilling bubbles, or skilling stamps, I should say. Get that going. It's another thing that you can be doing. So, void tools minimum, spread out golden hamsters, sailing bubble, level skilling stamps. Let's move on to alchemy here. So, your alchemy's looking pretty juiced. You're leveling up hammer. And before we go and take a look here, let's take a look, because I feel like your next priority is going to be your skilling. So you have 113 base, 89.7 base, you have a 90.7 base on your copper ore, 84.5 base on your mages. So overall, that's not too bad. Same thing as I said before, you want to start getting your 85% on logging and 85% on copper. Like I said before, super easy to do. All you have to do is take a look at that spreadsheet that I showed you guys that's in the Discord in the idle index. Ultimately help you. I believe it's in the World 2 section because that's where alchemy is. So you can find that Google Doc pretty easy. So that will ultimately be something that you want to work towards. I believe you need a couple more levels on multi-logo, but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be upgraded with your no bubble left behind. Yeah, by 85%, I mean 85% capacity of the bubble. So just to explain this a little bit better, this is the sheet that I'm talking about. This will show you the total gain percent. You set at 85%. It'll show you what level it needs in order to be at 85% bubble capacity. So getting this up to 85% for your skilling bubbles is ultimately going to be your next goal. That is Discord shit. And then cranium cooking wouldn't be hurt to get up to, if you can, 350, but I mean, that's not something you have to prioritize. But you got stuff like tree sleeper, because it seems that you don't have a lot of atoms at the moment. Obviously, you probably used your atoms for the day, but I mean, severe purple tree sleeper, all of that can get up absolutely. So far, your vials are looking fantastic. Definitely looking good on that regard. So overall, you're looking pretty swimming on this one. I mean, you got some major multipliers on your level 13s. Sigils are overall looking pretty good. Not too bad. You got 71 days for your veggie. Yikes. That kind of sucks. Feels bad with that one. Okay. So how's your construction looking? 25, 24, all of them rank 6. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, you're working your way for perpetual motion. That's looking all around pretty decent. Salt lick, same as before, pretty good, not too bad. We already took a look at 3D printer. Okay, and you're also starting to work towards your death note, which is fantastic. You got frogs, board beans, slimes. So you're seeing definitely some damage, so definitely keep on working on your... God damn it. Keep on working on your death note. That's definitely something you want to work towards as well. Death note, world 1 bill. You're already on your way to work on it, but it's definitely something to keep on there as well. Big one to look at is your stamp bubble. I mean, you got some 18K. Probably want to do, how's your statues? That's a big one to look at. Is your statues still the same? 184, 166, 134. Don't really need to do any statue farming, so that's fine for the most part. Post office is looking good. You have 12.5K on Marriott crate. Fantastic. Obols all around. Your biggest one is going to be obol farming. So you want to start working on your all stats for obol farming. Absolutely. This is definitely something you want to start working towards. You know, main stats for your characters. This will help you not only with your skill efficiency, this will help boost up until, you know, you start getting to the point where you can actually start getting like chopping obols or mining obols from Alchemy. Since if you can't get to that point just quite yet, it's better to just run main stat obols and then have 2 sets of drop rates. So you'll have drop rate for your maestro, drop rate for your character that you're farming, and your family will be drop rate. And then the rest will be main stat until you can get to that point where you have enough chopping obols or enough mining obols to start doing it when you do your prints specifically. So definitely start working on your obols. That's going to be a big one for you since you're kind of at that point right now. Alignment, you're looking pretty good. You're running basically full hair, so you're full gung-ho on the 3D prints times 6. You love to see it. This would be the way you have this set up too will be massive for money percent farming, because since you're running so many hairs, you're going to be giga juicing your money farm. Let's take a look at your worship. How's your skulls? Oh. Skulls first. Definitely want to work on your skulls, man. Your skulls are they definitely need a lot of love. This is also for charge rate as well. This is extra talent points. Not only that, I mean, more charge, you know, it equals, you know, you're juicing yourself out, but like, you know, something for, you know, realistically, if we're taking a look at the, you know, you have an elemental sorcerer that's using the base skull, you can get this to level 50 within literally a set of charge without even trying. Like, even if you wanted to, a really good thing to do, if you guys don't know, is you can go into tower defense and you could start the tower defense, place like one tower at like goblins and have a stack full of balloons and just start dropping massive balloons in your tower defense. And that will skyrocket your wisdom on any character. So you can basically get to level 30, level 40 pretty easily just off skilling balloons alone. So if you guys didn't know that, definitely strongly suggest to do that. And that would be super, super easy for you guys to juice out your wisdom because, sorry, not your wisdom, juice out your worship, because worship is very, very important, especially for things like Citron Souls, you know, the Omega Lol souls. You also have the purple souls. All those souls need to be super, super juiced out, especially if you're looking for higher progression, such as, you know, the endgame skulls, which give you 3% all stat and 3% damage, which are pretty big. And, you know, 3,000 max charge, not to mention more base stats. You could usually stop at ballooning worship about 30 to 40, depending on how many balloons you want to use, right? You could use as many balloons as you get to 50, but I wouldn't necessarily suggest it. I would say 30 to 40 is fine, and then you just start running skill XP when you start absorbing that stuff. Just make sure you're running like Unending Prayer and running Prayer of Proficiency, and that'll super help all that stuff up. You know, like Unending Prayer, you have 42% right now, so you have 127% on your skill XP. That's going to be pretty massive for you if you're leveling up your worship. You can literally get everybody to level 40 to 50 within a day. Just easy amount. Just go into goblins. Super, super easy charge. Super cheap. Super easy upgrades. I mean, your balance of pain. Like, you already have balance of proficiency here. Literally putting a few points into your balance of proficiency is going to be massive. You could also use it with prayers, but I rather people use prayers on cooking. I rather see people use prayers on pearls on cooking than worship. Okay, it's easier to level worship than it is to level up cooking. So I mean, taking some of your souls, putting into prayers of proficiency. Not to mention, this will also help with your trapping to get your trapping up as well, because it doesn't really require efficiency if you're running nature traps. So definitely getting that up and putting it on and undoing resolve when you do your nature traps, because if I'm correct, and I'm taking a look, I'm going to take a quick look. You have nature traps, meaty traps, void traps, basic trap. I like how your ES is like super, like this one ES is like super juiced out on all his gear, but when it comes to his tools, it's just like you just gave up. It's like you did, it's like doing homework. Like you did 50% of it, and then you're just like, nah, I'll take a 50% on my grade. It's fine. Yeah, 50% is still barely a pass, right? I mean, it is what it is, you know? You're Averip, you feel like one of those types of guys where you have to do a school project with 4 people, and you're that one person that doesn't contribute to the school project, but still get the grade for it. Okay? Let's be honest here. Finish off your tools here, man. Let's get it going. Come on, dude. And then let's take a quick look here at points. I mean, you're already done with the points. Fantastic. Production, currently working on that stuff. Love to see it. And we already took a look at Alchemy. Alchemy's looking great. Same thing, though. Call me Bob. Level up, call me Bob. This is going to be huge for construction, because if you take a look at your Divine Knight, how much you want to bet you're going to be about 230, about 240 on your Divine Knight when it comes to his skill. 249. You're currently 249 on his skill. So call me Bob. Get that up. 500. Easy peasy. And then you're in the money. So definitely want to get that up. That's your build rate, man. You gotta hard farm your build rate. Get that going. This is gonna definitely help you with the construction. So if we take a look at your construction here, let's take a look at your buildings. Yeah, so you're 17 out of 15, 100, 32, 56, 51, 52, 54, 55, 51, 47, 45. This right here is gonna help you. Same with this. I mean, I'm actually quite surprised with, probably you don't have a lot of, I'm taking a guess you probably like have what, like 30 million build rate at the moment? Give or take about 30 million build rate. So, I mean, I can see why you've been keeping up with this, but I mean, you could get that easily up to like 80 to 90 mil build rate if you level up your construction level a little bit more. So 26 mil with DK. Yeah, that makes sense. And then, you know, also another big one to do is, in that case as well, farm out your construction nobles. Just farm it out. You have to run DK. You have to go into World 3, farm out your construction nobles, get them done, upgrade them, get them all maxed, re-roll them until they give you the most. And then you could basically just sit in lab with your DK and snapshot obols, which that will take your build rate from a very minute amount to a very big amount, just because of all those obols. So all you have to do is log into the character, even if you're farming on ES, log into the character, go to Codex, go to Construction, go to the Cogs, go back, leave, go to the other character, don't check Construction on any other character, and it'll maintain that build rate. And then you'll be juicing at that point. Big build rate, easy peasy, not hard to do, especially at your point in the game. Obo farming should be easy for you. So definitely, DK needs construction obols and levels for Call Me Bob. And like we went over, yeah, we checked that. That was good. How's your sailing gains looking? So you're running speed, and loot value, speed. All those are looking all right. You're going to eventually want to convert to straight loot value when you get to that point. How's your artifacts looking? Your artifacts are freaking juicy, bro. Yeah, sailing's painful. Yes. So you know how I said about your golden hapters? They'll be less painful. Once you start running, you know, spreading out all your golden hapters, it'll be so much easier. And if you want also another good help with that as well, is in your divinity. run a couple more elephants, run a couple less hares and a little bit more elephants. You know, like, you know, like, I mean, Eric, I mean, he probably going to need, he can run Omni while he's sitting on Divinity. Same with Mike. I mean, he's running Permeep, so you might as well keep that on. But like, you know, you got Arctis for Maestro. I mean, he might be leveling up his skilling, but he should probably be running Omni just to help out a little bit more, right? Because you only need 7 characters in the lab, 6 to 7 characters depending on what you're trying to hit. But seven is easy peasy. So you have 3 characters to do what you want with them. So trying to run a little less hares and a little bit more Omni. It will hurt your atoms a tiny bit, but it'll actually end up balancing it out because of the hours for 3D printer proc, not to mention refinery proc, not to mention you're also going for breeding procs and also sailing procs. There's also potential chance that you can double proc sailing, which is super massive. Also, if you're super struggling on it as well, all your characters should be running Sailor at heart. So usually what I go for rule of thumb for with the characters that I'm running is I go hammer, hammer for my big bubbles, hammer, 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 sailing at heart, and then worship bubble, which is the charge rate, which is call me Pope. And then the characters that you're pushing can be running things such as grind time, or if you're not really worried about XP, you'll be running hammer, hammer, Killer Massacre, which is a really good one, or Mr. Massacre, I should say, and then running stuff like, for instance, if you're trying to go for Death Notes, kill per kill. If you're not trying to go for Death Notes, call me Pope, because you're not going to be getting AFK gains from that stuff, but you're still going to be getting Worship Charge and all that good stuff from there. So you want to make sure that you're running at least all your characters to Sailing at Heart. I've been running Sailors at Heart since I first started pretty much, and I have all Eldritch artifacts. Obviously, I know you could be like, oh, but you swiped, and oh, but you know, did all this and all this stuff, but you want to make sure that you want to run this just to increase those chances of proccing. Yeah, and DK specifically, the Divine Knight, you want to, instead of running Call Me Pope, you want to run Call Me Bob. Call Me Bob specifically only for the Divine Knight, just for help with construction XP. That's usually what you want to run for your big bubbles. And that's how I got sailing. Like, most of my sailing was not done by, you know, bottled winds. I didn't really even get any good artifacts from bottled winds or from miracle chests. It was all specifically from sailing procs from golden hampers, having them properly spread out, and also running Sailor at Heart. This is, trust me, dude, it'll make things go way faster. Because instead of doing, like, you know, for instance, you're only doing like 20, 29 to maybe like 50 possibly. If you're getting like 50 chests a day, if you're running Sailor at Heart and you're also running hamper spread out, you're getting like 200 to 300 chests a day, right? You're getting way more, way more. Like, you're probably like quadrupling the amount of the amount of sailing that you're getting. And I mean, realistically, if you want to get that up a little bit higher, you could even take your Divine Knight and then go farm Citrons. Go farm Citrons with Crystal Spawn chance and farm out some more Hampers. So this is what I would suggest, okay? This is what we're going to suggest for your account before we move on. So you want Void Tools at minimum, especially Skulls. Do your Skulls first. Like I said, do that trick. Spread out your golden hampers. Of course, farm them at Citrons if you need more with Crystal Spawn at, you know, for the good gummy hampers. Sailing Bubble. Definitely want to equip the Sailing Bubble. You want to level your skilling stamps up a little bit more. I saw something that could be leveled up. Work towards 85% on logging, 85% on copper, and then start working on your ES, Boobos, and talents to try to get max talents on all your skilling. This will give you a massive, massive print. So your hair will be like 10 times more potent. Death Note World 1 to 1 billion. You're already working on that. That's fantastic. C, like I said, Oboe farming, DK construction oboes, Bane stat, start using your alchemy liquids to get start getting your daily chances for mining obols, chopping obols. You want to get that going for when you do your big prints. Definitely want to start leveling up Call Me Bob. And start with that, and that will give you weeks worth of work. Easily weeks worth of work. And if you do this, you will thank me. Trust, bro.